The biggest lesson I'm learning is that just because we talk about our problems, they don't magically solve themselves. So, talking about our problems doesn't do us any good. It's the action we take that we know we need to take in order to solve them. So, if you are dealing with something right now, you've got a problem, especially if you've had it for some time. Think about what actions you need to take to solve the problem. And also realize that we waste time, we waste precious moments of our life when we sit around complaining, when we sit around and talk about the same things over and over again, expecting something different to happen because we're talking about them. So if you are experiencing something, you're complaining about something, think about what you need to do right now. What's one step you can take in order to solve that problem? What's one thing that you can do that will help yourself move forward? And just realize that just because we talk about a problem does not resolve it. It has to be resolved through action, through conscious action. And that most of the time we drive people away when we talk about our problems, especially if we do it over and over again. Most people want, now misery loves company, right? But most people want you to figure out what to do and solve your problem. They want to see you resolve it, move on to the next thing. And so don't get caught up in complaining over and over again. I am not making a small, what you're going through. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when we have problems, instead of complaining, we have to figure out what do we need to do? What steps do we need to take? And then we need to start taking those steps. We cannot just wait for things to magically change because faith without works is dead. So that means that's works with an S. So that means that we have to start taking some steps. We have to start doing some things differently. We have to start doing the things, the hard stuff, the stuff that we fear, the things that we don't want to do. We have to start doing those things in order for our problems in order to resolve our problems. And if we don't, then we can expect things to stay the same or get worse. Things will not get better if we don't get better. Things won't get better unless we make changes. And so I know it's hard to make the changes, to do the things that we need to do. I realize how easy it is to scroll social media or watch television or do something else, play video games or whatever. I realize that it's easier to do those things than it is to sit down and map out what you need to do. Sit down and say, okay, what's the first step? What's the baby step I could take to solve my problem? And so a lot of times we just want the easy stuff. Sometimes we just need the easy stuff, right? But we have to force ourselves to just take one baby step towards our goal. Just take one step towards solving the problem. Just take one step. Instead of complaining, instead of wasting 30 minutes or to 2 hours telling 5 people what's going on in your life, why don't you take those 2 hours and say, okay, I'm just going to sit down and figure out, okay, what can I do? What's one baby step? What's one thing I can do to kind of reduce some of this stress? What's one thing I can do to help me solve my problem? Which is one step. And we all can take one baby step. And then you just take another one until till the problem is resolved, or until you get stronger to where you're able to deal with the problem. Because some stuff we can't do anything about, right? It's part of life. But some stuff, a lot of stuff we can change if we change. If we just start taking the steps, start making the changes that we know we need to make, but it's hard, right? So just think about that today. What's one step you can take right now towards resolving your problem? What's one step you can take right now to change your life?